I went to my nephew's birthday party this year and didn't bring a gift. And suddenly, I was the villain. Not his parents, who haven't acknowledged my kids' birthdays in years. Not the people who showed up empty-handed to my son's last party. Walked right past the decorations he helped hang. Didn't say a word to him. Not even happy birthday. But me. The one who decided this year. Enough was enough. I didn't make a scene. I didn't talk behind anyone's back. I didn't drag the kids into anything. I just showed up, without a gift. And that silence was apparently louder than any words I could have said. After the party, my phone lit up like a wildfire. Texts from my parents, accusing me of being petty, saying I was punishing children for adult problems. And that line, it cut deep, because if we're really going to talk about punishing children, why wasn't it a problem when my kids were the ones being overlooked? Why was it fine when my daughter got no card from her uncle? When my son's smile faltered after asking why his cousins never bring him anything? Not even a birthday balloon? Why is it only called punishment when the silence shifts sides? Let me rewind. I'm 34, a mom of 2 amazing kids. Over the years, I've shown up. I've bought the gifts. I've wrapped them with care, included thoughtful cards, sometimes even brought extras for the party. I've done all the things that a loving aunt is supposed to do, and I did it happily, for a long time. But year after year, the birthdays came and went. My kids would plan their parties with excitement. They'd count down the days, help decorate cupcakes, blow up balloons, and I'd send out invites to my brother and sister-in-law, always including their kids. They showed up to a few, not often, and when they did, they came empty-handed. No gift, no card, sometimes not even a smile. My son noticed first. He asked, "Did they forget it?" I told him maybe. That maybe they'd mail something later. He waited. It never came. My daughter didn't ask, but she did quietly slip the unopened goodie bag we'd saved for her cousin into the trash. After a while, it stopped feeling like forgetfulness. It started to feel intentional, like a statement. And maybe it was. Because it wasn't just the lack of gifts, it was the coldness, the dismissiveness, the way my brother and his wife barely spoke to me or my kids, the way they hovered at the edges of every gathering like we weren't even there. Still, I kept showing up, kept giving, kept pretending it didn't bother me, until one day, it did. This year, when my nephew's birthday invite came, I decided I wasn't going to play along anymore. I would still attend, still smile, still show respect, but I wouldn't bring a gift. I didn't announce it. I didn't make a point of it. I didn't even mention it to my kids. I just didn't bring one. The party went on. Kids laughed. There were streamers and cake. The gift table overflowed with bags and boxes, and I sat there quietly, watching my nephew open them one by one. When he got to the end and didn't find something from me, he didn't even flinch. Either he didn't notice, or he didn't expect it in the first place. But someone noticed. Someone who didn't notice every time my kids got skipped. Because after the party, I got a flurry of texts from my parents, not from my brother, not from his wife, but from my parents, telling me I was being petty, telling me I was setting a bad example, telling me, "You don't punish kids for adult problems." That was the moment I realized something deeper. This wasn't just about a birthday gift. It was about the expectation that I would always be the one to give, that I would keep the peace, no matter how many times we were ignored. And the second I stopped, I became the problem. What my parents didn't know, what they never asked, was how many birthdays my children had spent wondering why their family didn't seem to care. They never texted my brother and said, "Why didn't you bring a gift for your niece?" Or, "How come you didn't even say happy birthday to your nephew?" That silence, that was fine. But mine, that was unacceptable. It's funny how people get real loud the moment you stop being silent. And look, maybe I could have handled it differently. Maybe I should have sent a text first, laid it all out, asked for some kind of change. But after years of being met with silence, coldness, and a complete lack of effort, I just didn't see the point anymore. I didn't want revenge. I wasn't trying to make a statement. I just stopped giving where nothing was being returned. I've taught my kids to be generous, to show up, to celebrate others. But I'm also teaching them not to be doormats, not to keep pouring from an empty cup. And this year, that meant no gift. So now I ask, was I wrong? Was it wrong to set a boundary, even if it made others uncomfortable? Was I punishing a child? Or was I finally protecting my own? So, am I the asshole? What do you do when generosity becomes expected, but never reciprocated? When silence is only considered rude once it's yours? This story, at its heart, is about boundaries. About what happens when someone quietly stops giving to people who never gave in return. It's not just about birthday gifts. It's about emotional labor, respect, the invisible ledger that builds up in families, where one person is always expected to carry the weight. It's also about how quickly people will police your tone while excusing someone else's behavior for years. And here's the truth. Kids do notice. They may not say it. They may not cry. But they see who shows up. They feel who celebrates them and who doesn't. So maybe the better question is this. What are we teaching our children, all our children, when we ignore their hurt to maintain an illusion of peace? And what would you do if it were your kids? We want to hear from you. Drop a comment. Was this mom right to stop giving? Or should she have kept going, no matter what? Your voice matters. This is AITA Stories. Thanks for listening.